In the 1960s and 70s, Mbale was not just a town, but a symbol of cleanliness and order in East Africa. Settled at the foot of Mount Elgon, Mbale boasted well-maintained streets and robust waste management system. Today, Mbale is grappling with severe garbage crisis threatening its health, environment, and reputation. The transformation from cleanness to chaos has been gradual and noticeable. As Mbale's population grew, so did the waste. The small manageable town producing 70 tons of garbage per day has turned into a busy city with waste mushrooming all corners, up to 500 metric tons per day. The Mbale Central Market is one of the oldest and the biggest shopping centers in the city. It is an active center of all different kinds of trades, attracting all traders of the region and beyond who come here to buy and sell their agricultural produce among other items, thus making it a heart of the city's garbage problem. With less care and responsibility among the market users and the city dwellers, managing this waste has become a formidable challenge to the city authority, thus causing a public health mayhem.
One of the sources is the packagings that come from already made stuff like pasta noodles. We are having some brand shops, we are also having brands for animals other than human beings. Then other stuff that come when they are in boxes. So that's one source. And then we also have eating places. They go and buy small quantities, but eventually they put them together and we get firewood, we get charcoal, we get leaves, and then even the food itself, and then also the byproducts of the fuel. When you go to the tailoring section, you will find the cuttings of pieces of cloth. That's also a generation point. If you went to where they are selling bags, you will discover that the bags also bring in droppings, bad droppings. So it also becomes a source. And then we have those who bring fresh products. Tokens, Irish, so they bring when they have covered them in banana leaves or other materials. Actually, that is the biggest chunk of general
At large, you have a problem. Most of these garbage centers have been mismanaged or have been taken away. We lack where people dump garbage. So the garbage you are seeing at the Mbale Central Market, it is not only generated by Mbale Central Market. It is collected almost all over the town. Because you get them at night, carrying the garbage from different parts of the city, bring them where to the market.
To mitigate the challenge of garbage that had become a point of turmoil in the city in 2008, with support from the World Bank, the National Environmental Authority, NEMA, under the Clean Development Mechanism project, established a 1.2 billion compost plant at the landfill in Doho on the outskirts of the town.
So, World Bank funded NEMA and they came up with the construction of that plant, composting plant. When it was constructed, it became a very important asset and us as a municipal by then. And they gave us a wheel loader, they gave us a tractor, and we came up as a municipal, came up with a team who was supposed to do the work at the composting plant. The composting plant was comprising of 6 windows, whereby the incoming garbage was supposed to be taken in the first window. Then the works of turning was done by the wheel loader from one window to another. After a week, turning takes place. As watering also goes on. How do we water? They gave us also a pump, a ditched pump, which we were using as to pump the ditched from the ditched tank and the windrows for better composting until we reach the last 6th windrow when it is really very nice organic manure.
Here, waste was always sorted, and the biodegradable one was processed into manure, also known as compost, while the plastic was sold to the recycling plants by the scavengers. This initiative continued and saw the challenge of garbage in Mbale City being managed, and the situation gained some sanity for some time, thus indicating a positive step towards the right direction.
Yeah, so that project kicked off 2010, I would say. And it was working quite well. It was registered under the CDM, meaning we were supposed to earn carbon credits out of it. Because by composting in such a manner, you are actually reducing emissions. So it was working well initially. Actually, we got registered, and then eventually we earned the sum of about 21 million shillings. And then the verifiers came back again the second time to verify us, and that we were supposed to now get more, because the first time they came and verified, we had just started, so we had not composted much, but we earned 21 million. So the second time they came, we had really composted, so our hopes were high. We were expecting to get something like over 100 million. Yeah, but then unfortunately, the buyer of the carbon credits was the World Bank. We were told that the carbon market fell, so the bank, of course, couldn't buy. So as a city, we lost out on the carbon credit, but then we still continued composting because we would still make some money out of sale of what? Compost. But then personally, I also really pushed the council to finance us to continue composting, because it was really helping us to even order the site down there. Because initially, before that project, you go to that site and it's dumped with waste, and you think it is full, And when we started organizing through composting, we found that even the waste was little.
However, as time went on, the municipal authorities then struggled with the high operation costs of garbage collection, broken down machinery, limited funding, thus plunging itself into the turmoil. During this time, the drainage was clogged and the streets were littered with the rubbish, worsening the state of cleanness. As the sanitation state in the town worsened around 2016, with the gradual collapse of the compost site and the withdrawal of donors, the authorities sought support from the private sector to support them in collecting garbage in the communities, and this improved the state slightly.
Our vehicles here also broke down because of age, poor maintenance, so we decided to say we need to work with the private sector. So at that time, we informally brought on board, like private people, because the people would approach us and say we want to collect garbage. So we informally allowed them to assist us. Because as a council, we didn't have capacity. Our vehicles were down, we couldn't maintain them, so we said, let the private sector support us. And they actually moved in and they did quite well. There were people who responded, who wanted the service. The state slightly improved. Not so good, but slightly improved, because not everybody was willing to pay for their waste. And yet these private waste collectors, you see, they're profit-minded and they also need money basically to operate.
While a ray of hope had been envisaged, a new obstacle was on its way, and in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic was announced, thus worsening the situation, which similarly saw the municipal authority change the leadership of the management of garbage. But as the authorities struggled with the finances to manage the garbage, the compost site became defunct and it was vandalized into its disappearance.
So the community who was scavengers took advantage of his absence. They went to the column pillars of the composting plant. They started with the roof. No workers now. Now Nema had it. Now there was constraint, financial constraints. Of course, when that state is there, no way you can pay workers. The collection also reduced because of the fueling element. And the wheel loader could not be on site all time to do the turning because they had cut off the funding, fueling the wheel loader. So the municipal was struggling.
Today, Mbale has become a city and its administration area and population have increased. Thus, the scope of garbage collection is a big burden that still challenges the city authorities.
Sometime around the pronouncement of the city, something almost comes 4 years. I think when they say that Mbale is now a city, all my people from around neighboring cities, they say now Kampala has come nearer to us, so we go and enjoy the fruits of the city. So they came to the city in big numbers. So when they came in, of course, we are not prepared for those big numbers. We're also transitioning from a municipality to a city. Resources, the capacity of the people had never seen that big burden coming to their city. So they found us unawares. And it was a big problem. You could find some roads that are blocked. Actually, when you are coming to the city, you could find the road was blocked, the main highway. Garbage and jump on the road and the whole road is blocked, causing a lot of accidents, because that a negative impact on the population, in the image of the city.
Today, Mbale is still struggling with the solid waste management like other cities across the nation. However, to ensure that everything works, the city authority have hacked a mega strategic plan of solid waste management that will see the city reclaim its lost glory.
So the reforms we made, one of them was first of all put right the area where we dump this solid waste, the landfill. That we tried to work out. As of now, I think you're coming from train entering the city, you can no longer be welcomed by a heap of solid waste or garbage at the roadside. That has since been cleared. That has created a way for the garbage now to be properly disposed in that area.
At the landfill, new compost pits are being dug to create more room for fresh garbage that is being collected all over the city.
We are digging compost pits, so that once this garbage is brought, they fix them inside the compost pits and then keep leveling. So there is a processing of leveling. So once we do that, we are creating more space than heaping. The only challenge we have, we adapted the old garbage, try to destroy the old heaps, then reduce them to the normal manageable. Even where we put the heaps now, even the cars drive on top and take garbage again.
As part of the new strategic plan, the city leadership has invited the private sector to support them in keeping Mbale clean.
So we had to source for private collectors, partners, whom we entered into partnership with. They are helping us now pick part of this garbage from source, where the owners, of course, make some contribution, the generators. Then we also agreed that there are some areas that are really where our communities in a particular category of income may not afford, and therefore we agreed with the private collectors that have to have a different arrangement in terms of costing, and also have some interventions by the city. That means that we cannot totally withdraw, but we can only work, because this is where we must avail the service.
Yeah, so the current policy of management of garbage in Uganda in urban centers is the generator pays for the garbage. And in Mbale, prior to emphasizing on that policy, we are basically doing everything. We just generate garbage and throw everywhere in the city. But as we talk now, we are emphasizing on the generator pay policy. And this was also more emphasized by procurement of private companies who collect garbage from the generators from an agreed point where they can pick it and take it to the dumping site.
Further, they have embarked on community sensitization and a call to action for the collaborative efforts that have seen market vendors, city authorities, technical officers support the implementation of the new waste management plan.
So we are now encouraging our people that there should be some form of sorting. Garbage that is biodegradable should be not mixed with the ones like polythene and then glasses and all that. That is one of the issues that we are trying to sensitize our people to adopt, because in all these countries where you move, garbage is normally sorted so that all these can be recycled, and the output or the products are also totally different.
We are progressing with the sensitization and awareness creation to make sure that the garbage produced in the city is sorted at the source.
The central market being the biggest market in the region, the real system, setting up first of all, having identifying the waste handlers and training them on how to manage waste. And the training will focus at, first of all, the type. Do they know the type of waste generated in the market? Do they know how to segregate? Using the color coded, maybe you can say green will be the decomposable one, and really for sure green just to be. Then possibly black can be a recyclable one. You then know the issues of occupational health and safety, because there are a lot of issues when it comes to when waste is not sorted. So once we have a committee, which is a waste management committee set up in the market, and their main role will first of all go stall by stall, sensitizing maybe if it's this section of fresh vegetables and all that, watermelon and fruits in cabbages and all that. Do they know that this type is decomposable waste which can be turned into manure? So their role will be, we shall train them to locate where after collecting this, where they put it, and link them to the company that at this time these people have already swept and are at the market and the stores.
The garbage collectors in the private sector also emphasize on the bottom approach when sensitizing the community.
Me, I would believe that would be even more better than those classes be collected. To me, I would advise that the sensitization part in the summary should be bigger. But not the sensitization. But the sensitization should go out of bed. And it goes to bed. Why did you go to the real people? Somebody is hungry, doesn't have money, tell him go and listen to it.
The city authority has also embarked on empowering vendors in the market across the city to manage their affairs, among which the solid waste management is part.
We have 4 service providers, so each of them is having two, except one that has one zone. So if you have a market falling within your zone, we sent the service providers and said, go and discuss with the market, agree on how much they can pay you, agree on the frequency of collection, and then have the garbage collected. So for us as council, we said let's be on that role of regulation, supervision, and sensitization, and then the private sector does the collection.
Responsibility that we are there to supervise, to know that the garbage is taken, and we make sure that the whole market is swept. We make sure that our DC people, our cleaners, well equipped with everything. Since the powers were brought to us, that's the improvement. But since when we are still in the council, we would wait for the municipal council to come and clean the place and take the garbage. So they gave us the authority to manage the garbage collection, which has made our work easier.
We want to build systems here, not individuals, so that it's not really one person, that even if one person is away, the remaining people are able to bring whatever is happening in perspective.
This is yielding good result, and it's gradually changing the image of the market, which have been a big hub for garbage generation and collection. These are hopeful. They can propel the improvement of the city's image.
We have a vision that we take back up, we bring back Mbale's glory, which was at first that Mbale was the greenest state in Mbale. And among the markets that have been constructed under Mateo, we have tried to ask council, take us for free purchase in these other markets. They talk of Marara, they talk of Uganda, but they have not taken us for free. But for our vision, we also hope that given all the essential commodities, okay, things which can make our market clean, we are hoping by central market to bring back the glory to the past, which can make the Guinness again in Uganda.
Although this is a clear step in the right direction, there are persisting challenges that the city authority acknowledges.
On our side also as council, probably because of lack of resources, finances, we have not done much to really reach out to the public, tell them properly about this new system that we are using, and how they need to contribute and be part of it. We have not also done enough on our side as council, reaching out to the communities, different groups, different sections, to really sensitize them and tell them about what is going and the consequences of what not participating in this issue. So there's still a challenge on our side as council.
The roads to the dumping site are not that very good, especially when it is rain season. Now these contractors, most of them, when they go and realize that the road is not good, they look left and right and then pour at the entrance, so that you'll find the dump site, the other side is empty, but people who are passing at the entrance are like, this place is already very full. Where are they going to take the garbage?
If I can start from the trade order in the city, okay, that's the area which is almost turning us down, because in the evening you find almost all streets are packed up with business activities, and in there they generate garbage, and when they generate the garbage which they may throw on some of our islands on the street, because they are there illegally, and the control is very difficult. We tried as a department to get in touch with them, because we feel the public health act mandates us to close them. But if you are happen to close, then the politician, the MP, the what will come and say, hey, you are finishing my police, this is their survival. So we are trying to engage the politicians, the religious leaders, the other technical leaders, such that they are on the same thinking like us, such that we deliver by to another level.
In the grand scheme of works to reclaim the lost glory, where solid waste is properly managed, the city authority are persuading different development partners to see that the compost plant is revived.
We're also getting partners who are helping us, who are going to help us in recycling, because we realize that recycling is one way, space where we dump this garbage is an area that eventually gets narrowed down, that we can no longer do it. And when you can't do it, garbage is abandoned within the central business area, and that continuously litter around. So we agreed that we also get partners who can recycle, especially biodegradable.
To ensure that they reclaim their glory and garbage is managed, the city authority has for the first time allocated a noticeable sum of money towards solid waste management, a move that is a positive one in the right direction.
Initially it was very difficult even talking about resources to manage the solid waste chain. Okay, it was, if anything, the list of the priorities. But with our team, we made sure we put this issue at any opportunity. And as we talk now, they have appreciated. And this year they have allocated us about 200 million for managing solid waste. Part of it will be for constructing the fence, part will be for cleaners, and some for routine collection of garbage, which is at least a move in the positive direction. Because the last years we are barely allocated in 15 million to run the whole year, which is almost we cannot do basically anything. With the heavy machinery we need to run this into waste chain.
So, but also we put some money in the current budget to have it fenced off, such that it is properly and clearly taken care of. Because it is an area in the past that had been abandoned. I think people left it to just be the way to anybody would run the way it is. But we are now ensuring that even vehicles that will be dumping there will actually be taken note of. If you are going to dump there, you find an askar at the gate who will take details of the car, so that when there is mismanagement, then it is easy to tell who went and just haphazardly dumped garbage there. So all these initiatives are aimed at, one, making that place first of all better and well managed, but also ensuring that there is enough space.
Mbale's journey to reclaim its glory as the cleanest city in East Africa is ongoing. With determination, collaboration, and innovative solution by city stakeholders, we can build a cleaner, healthier, and prosperous future for our city.